guys, Mika Fabs here, and I'm standing by with Fricks from KRU. Fricks, how did you guys prepare for EDG, and what can we expect going into Ascent, which is your map pick?
To be fair, we already know how Asian teams play. They are really, really aggressive, so we should play like some defaults and some passive game to play with their minds, you know. But for preparation, is that. I mean, it was. We didn't have that much time to prepare, so we had to adapt. For map 2, that is Ascent, I expect to win. That.
Awesome stuff. Looking forward to it, and good luck to the team.
Thanks.
Yeah, a very good start there for KRU, as you heard there from the interview as well. They were playing mind games. I've got Kakuka and Mura's here back with me on the desk. Did you guys feel the mind games there from KRU? Did you like the way that they played on Split?
I mean, I think especially when we're talking about that second half, we can see that they were expecting EDG to be a little bit more aggressive, and in so many instances that didn't happen. And that was when Fricks actually called for the post, and he was like, guys, do you remember what I said about them being aggressive? So they're not doing it, so let's be aggressive ourselves.
Yeah, I think they started doing that. They were playing slow, playing mid, getting control of mid because they don't have Viper defending. But then I think like as the game goes on, they noticed that the weaknesses actually were in their sights. They weren't holding the sights well, so they just started going A, B, and that was it.
Yeah, exactly. It looks like, especially when we're talking about mid, there were so many situations where they were given the space and they were like, okay, we made it here. But then that initiating power that they have with the breach, the sky, the omen was not in sync. So maybe making it simpler actually gave them the win.
Yeah, of course. We just saw that round as well. They won a Thrifty in round 18. We've seen them do it a lot. They actually have the highest Thrifty win rate out of any other team in this tournament, but also a really crucial time, right, for them to do that, because maybe the scoreline would have been a lot closer if they did.
Yeah, I mean, after that round, the economy snowballs. It wasn't that round specifically that they noticed that it was easy to enter the site. Like, you enter a site in a Thrifty, you won like, I think 4-2, 5-0 or 4-0. So they were like, okay, that's how we should play. And then after that, the EDG couldn't do anything.
Yeah, exactly. And we also saw rounds like the one where they just kept pushing onto the defender spawn and, you know, trying to throw EDG a little bit off their game. And I think it worked perfectly.
Yeah, and we also saw a little bit of chaos as well. If you guys take a look at this Verizon post, Verizon high-speed moment, even from Shimu Lu. I mean, she was doing this a lot. This was mad.
It was a great play. Like, really, like, so what 2v4. At that point, I thought like EDG could come back something or something, and then they started winning some rounds. They got more confident and stuff. But yeah, I don't know. This play was just really great.
Playing together, you know, trying to stick the defuse to get it all the way. For the HP, she cannot get it, but still they get the round. Honestly, that race moment reminds me of the first time that I met Flights. We were testing Icebox, and I literally remember looking up being like, how did a race get here? Yeah. Because it's impossible for you to expect it, especially when you're in LAN and there's so much noise and so many things happening. It's impossible to catch those moments.
Yeah, you can't even hear it. You just you can see the reaction of the second player. I think Sky. She was like aimed to the left, to the right. She couldn't find her. It's like, it's just great to see those race plays always.
It reminds me of YZ from BLG. I don't know if you remember. He was just like doing stupid
stuff.
I
remember.
Stupid stuff on this map with the judge. But more importantly, EDG, they are in a deficit right now. They did play a lot better than the last time we saw them. But if they do not step it up, Kakuka, they will be eliminated. They have to win the next map.
Yeah, exactly. And remember that Split was actually their map pick. Ascent is a very easy map. Like, I believe that the defaults and the standards are very much easy to understand, especially because everybody usually plays the same compositions. So I want to see a little bit more of what we were seeing on Split. I feel like everybody was more comfortable in what they were doing, even when it came to those aggressive plays that composition was very well suited for. They seemed comfortable doing it. They seemed sure in every step that they were taking. Sometimes it doesn't go your way, but you know, it is what it is.
I really want to see something different here from EDG. I don't want to see the standard comp. I want to see something different, that they I don't know if they build something, and because if they're gonna play full standard, I don't think they can beat KRU.
Yeah, and also we have to mention they're playing 2 Jet maps now, right? Blue, she had to play the Jet on Split. She's gonna have to play the Jet again on Ascent, as we've seen from the first match as well. You need to be very, very comfortable on that agent for Ascent.
Yeah, we talked before with DG as well, and we saw actually Daigi took the main character of the game, but like you can see how Jet impacts on this map. And yeah, as I said before, I really want to see something different from EDG. I don't want to see the standard comp.
I mean, Daiki, maybe the main character for you, to me, she was the ultimate boss. Every single time that I was seeing it, it's like I was nervous. I was in EG and I was nervous, being like, oh my god, Daiki's coming. Like I can hear her steps. Every single piece of utility that she was using was so impactful. The shock darts, the reveals. I was like, damn, it's so complicated.
That's Kone, I feel like, for this matchup. But EDG, of course, they took a tough loss to Shopify in their international debut. But we had a chat with Yusin about what the team learned heading into this elimination match.
就是 SR 真的是很强劲的对手，然后能与他们交手，就是我们很开心，然后也学习到了很多东西。第一次打国际大赛，然后一开始很紧张，但打到后面大家都玩得很开心，这样。就是这次毕竟是第一场比赛，然后我们可能还是有点紧张，然后。 战术没问题，只是协同上可能就是可以经过这次比赛去做调整，然后让我们队伍更好。
This could be the first round for EDG. Out through the smoke, Alexis falls, floor wheel trade, and it's all on her. 1v2, time dwindling, and look at that teleport! Reposition all the way into the back lines, and Floor thought she had finished the job, but she hadn't.
我觉得我们就是要回去看一下今天的问题，就是战术上是没有问题的，就是一些协同配合上可能要再交流沟通，然后做得完善一点。谢谢今天在场的粉丝，然后还有荧幕前的粉丝，谢谢你们一直陪伴我们、支持我们，然后我们会尽全力打好接下来的比赛。
This is the thing, they talk about how, you know, they want to play their own game, they want to focus on themselves. I think we did see a degree of that on Split, but we were talking about in the Team Liquid match, you know, why Liquid are so good, because they just don't respect their opponents, they're willing to take fights, they're very coordinated. Do you feel like maybe EDG are showing a bit too much respect for KRU, because on that defense side, they were so unwilling to kind of push beyond even kind of the boundaries of the map?
Yeah, I really think so, and as a Chinese team, as I said before, we can see they play really aggressive, but in the defensive side, I don't know what happened there, but they just didn't do that too much. I think the only time we saw it was like when Raze was flying in with the judge or something, but I really missed out from the Jet player there, and I want to see more on the Ascent. I don't want to see them really playing full back, because that's when KRU like grow in the match.
Yeah, they were much more reactive instead of like taking that initiative. Exactly. If you want to be extra aggressive, and actually, you know, if you want to turn the tables on something that's happening, if they're, you know, getting rounds round after round, if they actually have the upper hand also in the score, you need to change something up, and that also has to come from within. I feel like in that first map they ran out of fuel a little bit, so I hope that this 5-10 minutes might have been enough.
Yeah, and speaking of changing something up, Romy on that first map, you know, her Cypher setups were very interesting. She was going A, she was going B. I think she had a really nice understanding of how to maybe stop the double duelist.
Yeah, I really liked how she was rotating from A through B, and there was that round that Raze ulted on B. I think she had those weird cables. I think it didn't get braced, but it was kind of annoying for them to go through. They had those setups, those things that they thought about the game. So I really liked it, and yeah, I think played a really great influence in the defense.
Yeah, and now going into Ascent, we know how important the killjoy is going to be on that side, and I think that she is the kind of player. I think her and Kalita, we were hearing from Konir, just hearing about how she thinks that Kalita is so important for the team and all the value that she brings. Many of the things that we see happening, especially when it comes to Ascent, is going to be about the Sova and about the killjoy, and that stopping power that they needed in Split, and they will definitely need it in Ascent as well.
Yeah, of course. They get to start on the defense, which, as you know, Kakuga, is going to be very nice for KRU. How tough is it going to be for EDG?
I mean, it's complicated after, you know, being so close for being out of the tournament. I think that they can be happy with the performance that they had on the first map, and if I were them, I'd want more. So that just comes to an individual level of, are we happy enough with how much we improved on Split? Is this something that we're going to continue in the next map, or is this going to be enough?
Yeah, I think for me is more about like they playing their underdog card. Like we're here with the standing and etc. And we really want to like just show our game like they were starting to do in Split, but then keep it, like keep the emotion, keep the flows going, don't stop and start playing a little bit afraid that we saw in Split. So yeah, I think that's the mindset for them.
Yeah, this is the thing. They have nothing to lose, right? It's their first ever big international tournament. Even as a team, they haven't been together all that much in terms of playing matches. So it feels like they're getting a lot of great experience. But for KRU, this is where they went out last year. They got eliminated
Yes.
in the lowest right off the bat, and it will mean a lot to them, Kakuka, to go a bit further.
Yeah, exactly. And they also, that time that they were eliminated, they also started off winning the first map. And I'm going to say that it was the same score. It was a 13-7, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I was going to say we did not renew the script for this year. But definitely, this is one of the teams that can be reverse swept. Listen, if I'm EDG, maybe just pull the SMG card.
Oh my god!
Oh my god.
On
I'm just
Ascent
saying.
though? On Ascent?
On Ascent? Yeah, I think that would be really hard to play without smokes on Ascent. Well, I'd love to
What
see.
do you mean without smokes? Without smokes, you have Phoenix, you have Neon,
Cypher?
you have Jet, exactly, and one Cypher.
You got me right there. You got me. Yeah.
I mean, we have seen it, right? In situations where you're not really finding the breakthrough, you're not getting the wins that you need. Maybe what it is that's going to push you over the line is something wacky, something crazy.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I mean, EDG themselves are coming to this tournament. They said it themselves. We do have comp changes. We prepared a couple of new things. So far, we haven't really seen it to the degree of SMG. But is this a tactic that you'd like to see them do?
Yeah, that's what I said. Like, I want to see something different because in Ascent it's just always the same. And with the level I've saw from this first two games they played, like this map and the last game, I think KRU has an advantage on that. So I want to see something different and that they surprise KRU here.
Honestly, love it or hate it, Phoenix on an Ascent.
Yeah, could be good.
Love it.
Yeah,
Love
yeah,
it.
love it.
Give me some prime Scream Phoenix and
Oh,
I'll
God.
be loving it. But we are heading into the Prime Gaming Agent Select very shortly, and we're gonna find out. For EDG, they have to win here. If they don't, they will be eliminated. No more second chances. KRU, of course, they will get to go on if they win. But again, if they lose, I think things will get a little bit, dicey for the third
Hear me
one.
out. EDG lose now. They're just on the same level as NA's first seed. That's all I'm saying.
Whoa! Oh my
Okay.
god! Oh, she's brought the spice. She's brought the spice. But unfortunately, there is no spice here. We are going to see a very, very standard meta comp. What do you guys make of this?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't
Just
like
want to
it.
play comfort. Probably if if you have Blue coming in, that you have explained to her everything that you want and expect from her to do in this map. I think that this is probably one of the easiest to learn how to have that impact. So if they set her up well, this could be definitely the 1-1.
Yeah, I really think the Latin American Ascent is really good. Like we always scrim together here, and I always you play versus a tier 3 team, and they always know how to play Ascent. They play really well. It's really hard. So I think that I don't know. I think that KRU has an advantage here.
Yeah, they want to keep it simple, right? They just want to
Yeah.
do everything they have already done so far and not to overcook things.
Yeah, exactly. I think that it could be easy, and I think that this will mean a lot for KRU, right? I think that this is something that they need, that they've been wanting for too long.
Well, let's see if they can get this win indeed, because otherwise, elimination is going to be on the line. Let's jump into game and send it back to your casters, Doug and Athena.
Thank you so much, Shinsu. This map, Ascent, to decide how things settle, if it ends here, if we move on to another map, it's just so fitting when you think about it's the most straightforward map, it's the most basic map, it's the most probably explored and figured out, Athena. This feels like an appropriate place for this to potentially end.
Yeah, I mean, the copycat comps means that it's really going to be down to how each one of these teams plays, because it's not going to be down to that double dualistic crazy comp. But we're going to start right off the bat with all the players of EDG outside of B speeding up into that B main as soon as they see KRU taking space. A kill from Blue, 2 kills, and those are great entries.
Yeah, sliding into the jet roll just fine. The paranoia setup was beautiful. Blue with reckless abandon continues to push forward out onto the site. 3 kills already. What a start. I mean, this round's over.
Yeah, I mean, 4v2, we've seen EDG do this on Split, but again, we have an Omen with a Paranoia and a Killjoy. Killjoy, not much that she can contribute to this retake other than holding the close sights, but a really good crossfire from EDG with one person playing in B main, being super patient.
I'm hoping that we get to look at those opening 2 kills one more time, because it felt looser.
Yeah.
Right? It felt loose. It felt like on the fly. It felt very decisive. And I think that's exactly what you need if you're going to play in the position that EDG's playing in right now.
Yeah, I mean, we saw Blue showing us glimpses of that when she was walking up,
absolutely.
taking her picks, taking her fights. But again, following up with that util, getting the picks. Blue just going crazy this round and doing what she does best. entering 4K right away. Just a really great way to start off for EDG here, and they're definitely feeling the heat.
No investment from KRU, other than just a couple of the spicier pistols. That's all it really is. We're going to get to see some of this early exchange and trade of utility to feel each other out, and then see where things want to end.
Placing swamp grenade.
Yeah, that knife whizzing through. You've got the nano going out as well.
Yeah, breaking that turret that they can hear towards that B main and removing that information, the deep line from that KJ turret. Now looking for any sort of reaction, but EDG is going to group up towards the A side. Omen has been sitting here listening, holding, making sure nothing weird is going on, but KRU already setting up for 3 towards that A main side.
Which is, I'm really surprised too that they're leaning so hard, because they invested util B. I guess that was all they really needed to confirm where the hit is going to end up. Almost everyone is here. KRU had a great position, almost does something fascinating. Ultimately can't come to fruition. EDG puts together a Prime Gaming flawless.
Yeah, Prime Gaming flawless, because that was so good. I mean, again, they stacked, KRU stacked towards that A side, but it did not matter because the way that EDG executed looked so much better than the way that we saw them executing on that split. Just something really, really cool. Clearing their corners. Cornea, unfortunately, Blue getting one from that wine spot, and Blue just doing Blue things. And killing.
Blues had a freaking outrageous start so far. We'll see if they're able to keep that up. 6-0 for the Jet. And the potential for more, just 2 away from having the Blade Storm online. I believe that knife only tagged 1. They want to try to take this fight early on anyway.
Yeah, EDG doing a good job of doing these defaults, getting that orb. So far they've shown they like to take the mains, and Yusin just showing Cornea that last game does not matter because she is here to show that she's so confident and ready to take those picks. And now again, down a man, KRU. They need to react somehow. I mean, just sitting on site, they've stacked towards that A side. Let the Killjoy play on alone on B. But again, as a Senti, all you can do is delay and try to get as many kills as you can, which isn't probably the best way to play because you are just alone, no util, nothing to help. And now we see EDG trying to set up towards that B side, that A side, sorry.
Enemy kill.
Michaela.
They've got to be really careful here because they've left a lot of safety valves in place, if you will. They've left Similu playing over by B to draw some attention. They've left Clem across mid.
30 seconds
and if they don't hit the rotates, this could be problematic. But as I say that, of course, KRU's starting to peel away from A, and that should give EDG a lot more room to work with.
Yep, Similu breaking that turret, making the rotates start to happen, and EDG just playing it so well and understanding that, but the clearing, the site needs to be cleared before huge. Bomb goes down. Blue dead already.
Oh, that chuck's gonna hurt. Yeah, Yusin takes a ton of damage. And they still haven't cleared out the player in hell. Finally, Shies meets her demise. Michaela falls as well. A 2v2 as the spike ticks away. Yusin, again, weak. Off of the barrage of utility that kept her at bay. Turret cleared. Khalida looking for a window, looking for an opening. Snaps onto Yusin. Rami cleans it up as well. It was close, but KRU are on the board.
What a flick from Khalida. That was so clean. Oh my goodness. What a nice shot. This is how you want the round to go for yourselves on your first gun round from KRU, but EDG doing a good job getting guns down on their bonus. They managed to have enough money to full buy here for both sides, but it's so interesting how they pulled away the rotators and decided to contact back in. But again, the timing from KRU was so good. It was looking really, really, really good because they didn't even clear hell. But again, EDG just did not find everything that they needed, even though it's so weird because they have such good reads, but again, the execution just so close.
A victory in the round, but you see, wait, okay. Whew, I was really confused. I was like, wait a second, you've got money, you're not buying. What's going on here? And of course, it's the ever-beloved Tech Pause.
I feel like it might be us.
It might be us. We'd almost gone a full series. Almost.
But yeah, Tech Pause it is. I mean, both these teams looking like they know and understand Ascent very, very well. I really like the way that EDG has this approach of even though they do set up and even though they do have numbers, they're still putting pressure on either side of the map. But I think grouping up and playing numbers is something that they might need to get more used to, because EDG is just abusing and doing something that KRU is just abusing that by doing something EDG isn't used to.
Yeah.
KRU on the defense side, they love to re-clear. They've been re-clearing the mains every single time. They either push up or they re-clear. They understand the space and the push-pull concept that they're trying to like execute. But for EDG, I mean, knowing that, they should be grouping up a lot more often and should be understanding that this is how KRU is playing.
Gear is the culprit, as seems to be the case. It's often gear for us for whatever reason. And as soon as the gear is fixed, whatever the gear is, we'll get back into the action. Yeah, I think you're right. EDG have done a really good job of swinging, though, right? Of playing the pendulum, of making some presence, making some noise, and letting the presence be known on one side of the map, and then resetting, pausing for just a moment, forcing the defense to spread out a little bit in the introduction of doubt and the lack of information that's going across the map. So EDG have done that very well. I do think, I mean, historically, this map seems to swing.
Yeah.
Right? So we'll see how things continue to play out and manifest themselves. But for now, EDG with a slight lead.
Yeah, I think they're doing a good job of their default and getting these orbs as well. I think that's a really, really big thing. So far, KRU hasn't contested as hard. We've had a couple of wide swings from the mains, but kind of dry, no util, and I think that's probably going to change in this next round, where they're actually going to try fighting for the mains now that both teams have guns.
Well, I am being told that a client is being restarted. So we'll figure that out. We'll get you all back into the action as soon as that's reset, and we'll continue the game.
Don't you just hate it when gear?
When gear. I hate when gear.
Gear. Yeah, I mean, I have a I really like Ascent. So for me, when I'm playing Ascent, I play
controversial take these days.
No, I like Ascent.
There are a lot
I
of
think
people
it's
who are
boring.
upset with that.
I think it's boring, but I like Ascent.
You like it, and it's boring. I'm gonna need you to explain that one.
You know, Fracture, I didn't like it, but it was so fun.
And it's not boring.
It was so fun. It's like, it's
you
one
got
of those
some
games.
explaining, yeah.
Okay, it's one of those games where when you play ranked, you play Fracture, you're like, this is so fun, fun, and it's not that bad. When you play scrims, you're like, this is the worst.
Sure.
Like, either you're owning or you're losing.
Right,
and so for Ascent, it's so slow and seemingly strategic, and a lot of the metas have been the same. The defaults have been the same throughout quite a while.
Yeah, for a little while now.
Quite a while now. So I like it because there is always a way to be a little bit more creative and find things that people haven't really seen before. And so far, we are seeing both teams playing a little bit more defaulty on that style. But for example, like, we saw Daiki with Sova just owning and like absolutely destroying that B main. But then we also haven't seen anyone try to contest it as much, like Odin spamming back or trying to do some sort of trap play and all that. So I think it's really interesting to see how this is going to play out, because it is a boring map, but there is some creativity that could be had.
So low-key, I also am of the cat. I like Ascent. I think there are a lot of people who don't like them. No. Well, I didn't say it was. I didn't say it was boring, and I liked it. Honestly, I think you know, there are a lot of people who have conversations around Ascent right now. No, it's so stale and everything's the same and blah blah blah. I think, personally, especially in a game that has so many variables to it, I think it's really healthy to have a map where things are pretty standard and pretty figured out, because that's when you figure out who's really at their best. When it comes to fundamentals, when it comes to executing comps, the way that they're designed to be played and things like that, I think that's when it's at its best. We're already seeing a really pacey start out from EDG on the other side of the timeout. They want to go full pedal to the metal, and KRU are there to slam the brakes on it.
I mean, just like I was saying, I was expecting KRU to be contesting this orb, and I guess so was EDG, because they wanted to punish that contest by pushing up, getting into close quarters, but unfortunately KRU just read that like a book, ready, and got the kill, and now they're playing it safe.
And so much like we've seen in the last 3 rounds that we've had, EDG like to make some noise and establish some presence on one area of the map. And regardless of if they walk away with a numbers advantage or not, they slow things down and they feel out the rest of the map, see what else is being given to them. And that's exactly what you see out of EDG here. They made a lot of presence A long. They throw the brakes on it. Now they're feeling things up mid. They're working their way up cat to see if there's anyone playing tree. And as is vintage, you're going to have this Omen setup here. A Paranoia inevitably will come out. There it is, right on cue. And they've got a really good hold here. This crossfire that they have set up from Konir and Shies could be all they possibly need, or Konir's just going to do it on her own. 3 kills on the round already, the 4th on the other side. Shies cleans it up, and the spike is well out of reach here.
Yeah, what a clean way to set themselves up for KRU. They immediately falling back into the crossfire. They knew they had numbers. They knew that EDG had to group up and do something together, and they were very, very well prepared for that. Something that is so, so good that KRU is doing is this fast reaction towards these setups. And again, Konir just getting 3, almost looking like a replay of how Jujino was playing towards Cat on that Omen. Really, really cool parallels to be seen here from both these teams. And again, KRU solidifying their defense.
Good news, this time it's attack pause, not attack pause, it's attack pause. This time out from EDG as they want to take a moment to talk things over, hit the good old mola as they figure out what's going on here. We're tied at 2 apiece. This has been a great response, really, from both sides. Again, especially on a map like Ascent, when it's so early, it's really just about feeling each other out, poking and prodding a little bit, seeing what's on the other side as the playbook develops around that. And I think that's what we're seeing out of EDG here.
Yeah, for sure. KRU not doing anything too crazy, because as defense side, they're trying to understand how the attack is playing. And so far, EDG has switched up their pace. They've switched up where they're starting. They've switched up extremities versus mid. And now I feel like we're going to have to see some sort of switch up again to kind of see if they can figure out the answer, possibly towards mid, because that's not something that they've done that much. And as I say that, we do see them setting up for some sort of mid. They have that KO, they have those knives, possibly a B split. So easy to get into market for them with this util.
I do love the way that KRU are playing this, though, because they've split some of their Killjoy utility. Killjoy's playing A. You're going to be able to hit that nano from a distance if it is a fast exact B, but that's not the case. They want to explore mid, as you were saying. They've got the blades to work with. Now the KO ult is online. The nano's instantly popped. They're going to take so much space mid. The Jet's going to have so much to do here. What can Michaela find? She's still gone undetected. Finally gives her position away, and they still haven't looked. 1 kill comes through, feeling the pressure of the others. You've seen drops her. And you still have 2 members backside who haven't even gotten tested yet.
Yeah, I mean, so back and forth, just sitting on site, waiting. Yusin dropping, and now it's up to EDG to be able to clear this backside. Shimi Lu getting the first kill.
I'm really surprised Rami's not pushing forward at this point. Now starting to take some space. And now her position is given away as well. They're split. Oh, you see, got caught. Similu got caught as well. It's just Wawa Lee left alone in this 1v2. And a ridiculous 1v2 it would be. The tap on the first, and that's all that's going to come through. Konir gets 3 on the round. KRU's going to take the lead back.
Just a small little mistake of not clearing backside. They killed 1. They thought it was empty, but they saw that smoke and decided it's okay, it's clear, we're good. But we were not good because Konir was lurking in the back halls. I mean, that was so good. Romy was super patient. She definitely could have come out and helped, but I think Konir managed to calm that, hey, they don't know I'm here. No one's clearing me. Like, I'm good.
Yeah, it's quiet. And it's crazy, the fact that she was able to get away with as much as she was from there, given the fact that she had already gotten a kill, managed to stay alive long enough to net another. Just really, I mean, it feels almost criminal.
Yeah.
The success that she was able to find. Very quickly, up online for Michaela. Hasn't really come up at all, and they haven't really done any early aggressive tests towards B other than, what, the pistol round, if I'm not mistaken?
Yeah.
So we may get some of that here.
Yeah, setting up the line for Michaela with that op. Super important information. I mean, they're using the drone towards mid, so maybe they're thinking the op is being rotated over, but they don't even know that Michaela's fully gotten the line. They still have this mid trap set up, and I think EDG might potentially walk right into it.
She's getting further and further up. And you can see it on the minimap. Clem was playing with fire. Does not take the ill-advised step. Does not go past the point of no return. Another flip towards A. This time there's no crossfire set up. There's no paranoia set up in tree. They're going to get that much space for free. Lu looking to push the pace, and she's pushing right into the next round. As Shize is going to pop the ult instantly, and that just, I mean, that just puts a full hard stop on this hit. The smoke's through. You still have the Killjoy utility. You're going to have to get around Kinnear and Shize. Playing back site, but EDG cracked the site wide open. Michaela's the only one left alive on the opposite side of the map. The alarm bot's going to give the position away. Has nothing but an op. And the door is shut.
Yeah, that was so good, so explosive from EDG. But Clem with 17 HP, they're both so low. This is so winnable for Michaela. The knife coming out from KO and knowing where she is.
Holy smoke, she's gotten one. Again, so weak, just 17 HP. Nano cleared, Spike tapped. Onus on Clem to go forward. And the positioning is great. 4 kills on the round for the Killjoys. EDG ties us at 3.
That was so crazy. Michaela actually pushing into B main, and she overextended just a tiny little bit to where the Killjoy turret saw her. And KRU were so fast. They still rotated, but EDG was even faster because as soon as that turret hit, they knew that something was up. Instantly rotating towards A, splitting through that cat and getting theirs. It was a fight. It was such a big fight, and Clem clutching it up with those 4 kills. Bloodbath, actual bloodbath, but now we're going to return to the action, and it's going to be a super fast tiles crunch.
It's Sharks. Oh, it's Sharks, but it's not finding any success. Michaela has to give it back up. Tail tucked, runs away.
Man, EDG have to re-clear this mid, but do they know that Michaela's just set up all the way at the bottom of mid? This is going to be so risky. Hopefully they use enough util to catch her out.
Oh, that smoke should suggest an attempt at clearing things out with no real idea of where they might be. Michaela could be. The trap that's sprung at just the right time is their patience. The first, the second spotted. They line up and they both fall. Looking for the third. It does connect. Blades back online. The dash around, feeling the pressure. That's 4. The ace doesn't connect, but the damage has been done. Clem wondering how everything went so painfully awry so fast.
My goodness, what a round. Michaela, such trigger discipline, sitting all the way patiently bottom mid and getting shut down by Kinnear. That was crazy. Just talking about the proper util to re-clear mid. Man, a drone. The drone did not turn around and anything. And again, no bodies positionally turned around to clear that angle. That's so unfortunate from EDG, but they have to be careful. They knew they were pushed all the way down mid. They knew they had that much space, and oh, look at this again. It looks so clean.
I mean, this 4th one was really impressive. The 3rd was a little spotty. I'm convinced that a kill on a player that's not moving is the hardest one. Right? Like, no doubt. But ultimately executes. You see the buy now from EDG. It's lackluster at best, but that might be enough. Already getting the opener. It's going to be tough to upgrade that weapon if they want to try to get it. They have Casey, but Khalid really far back, and it's Kinnear who has the op. Rotating over now.
That smoke is lay the team, and they're gonna start falling back. Successfully picked up that Phantom, and now they have 2 guns to work with, trying to play for a couple more picks. That information on the Sova drone showing that maybe this team is starting to fall back, but full cat control for this Jet, and I don't think the A players really care. They're not playing for cat. They're getting on site and getting ready to play for site. Again, the op being traded back to Michaela. She has the cat angle held, and this crossfire is going to be super important for KRU.
And the question is, in eco rounds like this, how much are you willing to invest? They've invested 2 ults now. Michaela with the op. Just out of reach as she finds a second. Looking for the 3rd, narrowly missing. And Romi's the one left alone. EDG invests, they invest big, and so far it looks like it's going to pay off.
30 seconds left.
Wow, what a way to turn that Thrifty around for EDG, because they only had 1 gun, acquired a 2nd one, and ended up splitting in a perfect way possible. They used their ults because they knew that was a winning condition, and Romy left in a 1v3, make that a 1v2. Beautiful kill.
Blue is weak, but they're really patient with it. Wisely so, as there are just so many different variables and so many things that Rami has to consider. Narrowly avoiding the dart. He's going to have a bead on this. Not able to get the kill, though. I thought it was going to come through, but the MasterCard Thrifty is what does.
Yeah, I mean, what a crazy, crazy round. I mean, Simi Lu with that first kill on Imin was so important because that's the reason why they got that passive. That's the reason they got all that space. And that's the reason why they could reset and retake towards Cat. Amazing plays, amazing round. They don't need guns, Doug. They just need sheriffs at this point. Simi Lu, holy smokes.
I think you're absolutely right, because you wonder, are they willing to invest that much if they don't from Simi Lu, as you mentioned? I think you're right. A little bit of aggression here from KRU. The paranoia to set Michaela up on an aggressive line. The spam just narrowly missing. They've got the Hunter's Fury too invested from Kalita, not connecting onto anything. Oh, she's in trouble. Whoa. Gotta get out of there.
Simi Lu using both her flashes right away. Kind of rough to fight for that B main control. They do get the orb, but I mean, that was a lot of util just to push off the Jet. And now both these teams looking like they still don't have enough space that they need. I mean, the B main was contested, yes, but they're ending towards A anyway, but they don't know that this Killjoy is fully set up on the site.
They really don't have anything to get rid of it either. I mean, Simi Lu doesn't have ult. You do have some utility from Wally to clear out the nanos, the alarm bots, what have yous. Will that be enough, though? Oh, they're hard committing to this. They're already out on site. She's the only one up right now, too. I thought there was going to be a moment in which they try to flood to counter and catch Blue in trouble, but no. Oh, she's behind them. Gonna fall. They have so much pressure that they've applied across different areas of the map. The only 3 that remain, feeling like they're no good option, but Blue's gone unchecked for just a moment. Now clear. 1v2. 1. Simi Lu's so weak. Kalita 13 HP just on the other side of the door, and that's a gutsy call because that nano didn't land, but it doesn't matter. The kill does. Kalita with 4 on the round.
Oh my goodness. I was just gonna talk about how EDG doing so much pressure, leaving that KO, and after using so much util, actually managing to pull away from that A site. But you cannot fake away from the Sentinel site because the Sentinel's just going to sit on site and chill until they know that the bomb is out, until they know that the spike is out, and they know that the team is executing towards that site. So again, really well played by KRU here. So patient, even though the rotates were a little slower because of that pressure, but this retake was just insane. I mean, this goes to show that KRU is ready to go out. Even with its just mechanical, pure mechanical aim, they go out together. They're ready to hold hands and drop and trade. And I think that's something that EDG was not prepared for. I mean, the crossfire not good enough to delay enough.
Yeah, that was really scrappy. That was really nice. You see off of that, a timeout is called by KRU. They're up 1 round, just one slight round separating these 2 squads.
Yeah, I mean, both these teams super close. Again, this is starting to look like a nice little back and forth, similar to what we had yesterday.
Yeah.
And I think that, like, both these teams have the right ideas, but it's just a matter of who comes out on top. And every single time there seems to be some sort of multi-frag or some sort of misplay from one of the teams in order to open up that round for the others.
Which kind of goes back to the conversation we were having earlier around Ascent in general, right?
Yeah.
Like, that's the beauty, in my opinion, of this map is that that's what separates teams. That's what it to is one little misplay, burn execution. That's what maker.
Exactly. Both these teams forcing these weapons. I mean, not the best buys. We have both side and Guardians, and then we see the Sova ult, the Hunter's Fury on EDG side, trying to take this B main control back. Lots of mollies going off. The turret is broken, though. They know that Kid is playing towards B now and successfully grabbing that orb towards Simi Lu.
I'm really surprised that we haven't seen an Odin out from Kalita yet.
Yeah, I was just talking about the Odin. I think that's so interesting because it's such a good weapon, but their B main control has been really solid, so they haven't really needed it that much.
Wow, that was very nice. I'm also really surprised that they're leaning into this anyway because the knife spotted Romy. But they want to go into B regardless. Now the spike is out of reach. What are they going to do here? Yusin has ult. If they can get out onto A, establish some control, she can ult, scoop that thing up, and then reset on A. But it has to be on the other side of kills. If they don't get the kills to make this work, it's not really that advantageous at all.
Yeah, I mean, they definitely need to take some space here. This 4v5 is going to be really hard to set off. They have the Silva ult to play off, but again, not enough to secure. They have to delay for long enough for them to play off. They can't just sit back and hope that it's okay. These two players on site have to delay long enough that the Silva ult can do its job and win the round.
They're delaying plenty, and I mean, at this point, it's not really them. KRU have just been a little bit patient on this attempted retake. They don't have any ultimates. The kills are just gonna bleed for EDG as they all fall. No Hunter's Fury invested, no need. A great response from EDG.
They literally need to do it because that crossfire was just so good. The KO and Omen and Hell absolutely demolishing that retake. They learned from the last retake that KRU had where they just dropped and killed both those players, but they showed that they were not scared to play in those same spots.
See if we can take a look at it again, because that happened fast. That happened aggressively. You see it again. There was a lot of patience out from KRU. They were waiting things out, and you're right, just the setup that they had, as soon as you try to pop out of that smoke, you have what, at least two, potentially 3 guns staring at you at the same time.
Yeah, now we have a weak buy coming in from KRU, and EDG knows that. They're opting to just stay grouped towards that B main, and both teams gambled opposite sides. The KO being used on an eco round.
Yeah, surprised about that as well. You know, oftentimes in situations like this, you want to get through the round without having to invest. As little as you can invest and still find success is ideal. So they drop the null command out from Simi Lu, and that's all they do for now. They still have Wow Ali's ult. Can't imagine that becomes a variable in this equation.
Yeah, I mean, free site means free space as well. They're pushed all the way into spawn, and they know that these players are going to have to retake from B main, but they have flipped the site.
They drop the lockdown, but it's not like they really have them trapped. They don't have control across mid. They don't have control across spawn. They funnel out, and yeah, one's going to fall, but you're just going to have to deal with this ferocious flood attempt that's going to be coming out from spawn. But that's going to work? No way! It was so close! For it to be that close and still be a Prime Gaming flawless just feels wrong.
I love how Michaela's just desperately swinging her mouse around, trying to swirl and twirl away from those bullets. But yeah, I mean, such a good play from KRU, but again, it was so hard once they knew that they had less than numbers advantage. Like, this was so well played from EDG, so patient, using their util on the run out, and even though their KO is detained backside, doesn't matter because the firing squad is here to protect.
That was dangerously close. I love that you saw it on the members of KRU's faces. They're still smirking. They realize they tried getting away with highway robbery. Oh, so close. Narrowly missing the timing. Will they dare challenge blue again? Oh, wow.
No charges left.
Wow, that was such good damage. They're trying to put so much pressure towards that mid. Knives are popped. Switched the op out towards... Wait. I'm lying, sorry. Switched the op out. Michaela has the op towards A main holding. She dropped her op in spawn and picked up that Vandal. Does not care. They are so rich, EDG, and they're just contacting up into this B main because they know that the Killjoy turret has been broken.
Kalita has ult. Playing so far back, playing so safe. That knife not going to tag. Interesting off of that. They are going to funnel forward. KRU have been very patient and very cautious with this as well. Seemingly wanting to force the fight to happen out on the site. And that's going to be Thirsty Scene is going to be on this late flank, but Kinnear might be ahead of it. If Kinnear's patient with it, that could be the difference maker. But no, Yassine does win that out after all. You hear the second Hunter's Fury come through. While Ali's able to get 3 on the round.
God, what an
all with the ult. You talk about value. That's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, Romy left in a 1v4. Not much she can do. She picks down Wow Ali, but that was such a good ult, such a good play. Again, EDG just doing so well early round and starting to clean up their end rounds, their late game rounds, making them win. That is so, so cool, so clean. I mean, that ult from Wow Ali was sick. But again, the way that they entered, the way that they still managed to fully clear sight, I do think they're overusing util based on that round that they lost where they didn't clear enough. But they're using so much util to get into sight that it's like, they know it's solid, they know that there's no one there, and they're turning right away.
We've got an interview actually down on the stage in the crowd. Take a listen, guys.
Hey guys, I am in the middle of this amazing crowd right now here in the studio, and we have Nat here, who is a VCT super fan. Nat, how have you been enjoying the event so far?
It's doing great, actually. My voice is almost gone, but yeah, you're still here. Yeah.
I think that goes for everybody. I think that goes for everybody in this crowd, right? This is crazy, but this isn't actually the first time that we've met. We actually met during VCT Lock, and that's how much of a super fan you are.
Yes, I love VCT. Lock-in was crazy, and like, it was an experience. It was emotional at the end of it with the, you know, let's not talk about the 11-3, but like, it was crazy, insane. We ended up crying at the end, so emotional it was.
Yeah, what's even crazier is I hear that there is like a WhatsApp group for esports super fans here in São Paulo.
Oh, okay. So basically what happened was at Lock-in, we started meeting a lot of people that come to this type of events. So at a certain point, we became like a group of like 50 to 40 people. And it's always growing every time we go to like an event like this. So it's freaking crazy. We're growing every time.
That is amazing. Who here is part of that group? That's why we have this crowd right now. I think it goes without saying, but which team right now are you cheering for?
To win, let's go Liquid. Yes. Right now with the game, KRU, come on, let's go, Shies.
Shies and Team Liquid, of course. The hometown heroes that we have over here. This crowd is absolutely insane, and you have to be here to enjoy it. But right now, I'm going to hang with you guys because this is where the party is at. So hope you guys enjoy the rest of the show. Woo!
Thank you so much, Miki. Yeah, the crowd has been a lot of fun, really all week. And the crazy thing is, it's a Thursday, right? We're still like in the middle of the week. People got like jobs and responsibilities and adult stuff they got to deal with, but they're having a blast out here. And currently EDG is as well. They managed to stabilize things a little bit at the end to have a 2-round lead, but you've got to put them away, and it seems like they're trying to do so. An aggressive peak at the beginning of the round.
Yeah, I mean, putting this B main pressure early and then leaving it is so smart because EDG still has a KG turret in play here, but they don't know that the B split is about to happen.
The
Blue getting caught out. No.
The ponytail, that's crazy. Now they're just going to flood out and swarm. They've got so much room to work with. They have so much space. The one problem for KRU, if we were to try to highlight a problem here, is that there are 3 of them who are outrageously weak. I'm not going to try to do math on broadcast because that's like a cardinal rule. You don't do that. There's not a lot to go around. So if you look at them funny, they might fall, and that's exactly what's happening. 2 of them have already been sent to the next round. Kalido, 16 HP. You've seen this is difficult, but doable. She has control of the spike. They're going to have to go to her. What are they waiting for? Kalido just got the dart back online. Used and clearing. You've seen trying to find cover, back sight, trying to find some space in Bauhaus, and she's going to get one. She's going to get ones, but Kalido takes a little bit of things into her own hands, and Rami's there to clean things up. It was set up by Kalido. There was so much damage that was dealt at the end onto Yusin, and that was enough for Rami to clear the round. Whoa, that was close.
I mean, that was so risky, just giving her the ones and backside. That was so scary. But again, so well played by KRU. I mean, that super fast split towards B. EDG needed to decide whether they were going to play for the choke, play for market, or play on site, because what ended up happening was they were caught in such a weird crossfire. Obviously, Jet getting picked off first. KG can't do anything about that. They were falling off, but they didn't decide fast enough. And now we're going back to the second round where Guns on that KRU side, EDG opting for a Bucky, actually. Interested to see what they do with that.
Yeah, we saw it on Split. We didn't see a ton out of it. We'll see if it's different this time around. Yusin has already fallen. And this has to feel like a huge sigh of relief here for KRU. Given that you were down 2 rounds, you really don't want to extend this into a 3rd map. So they win the pistol, and it's like, okay, we should, barring something crazy, we should get back to 7-7, and that should be how the game plays out the rest of the way. So you just got to get through this as cleanly as possible.
Yep, a 5v4 here now, looking like KRU's just going to regroup towards that A main. They're fully clearing because obviously you don't want to worry about that. The drone's going to get them all that information, but they're actually not going to be able to spot out that there are still 2 players playing on this site here. The execute coming out.
Did just spot the Jet. Michaela getting one through as Wawa Lee, hang on, is able to keep things competitive and interesting. That's all right. Better late than never. Clem left alone in a 1v3. with the Sheriff. The snap onto Michaela is going to be tough. It almost hits it, but it doesn't connect. We're tied at 7.
Yep, 7-7. This is really, really good for KRU, knowing that they were at that deficit. But again, both teams understanding how to play this map really well so far. And I think it's going to be hard, but with this bonus, I mean, it's not, yeah, it's a bonus.
For sure.
They have a Vandal. They're rich. They can still afford a Vandal. This bonus is going to be really interesting to see how it plays, because I think that this is super winnable for the way that KRU is playing. They need to get up close and personal and make sure that they win these fights, because EDG, again, they still have a Spectre.
You want it up close and personal. It's going to be fast. You've got the Paranoia. You have the smokes. Michaela's already dashing out onto site and plucked out of the sky by Clem. A heroic shot. Wawa Lee joins in on it as well. But they've still lost sight. Oh, Clem is still backside. She hasn't been cleared. No Armor has taken some damage, but slipping the net, getting just past the smoke. They have no idea she's there. Rami finally stops that. That could have been disaster. But they still have a couple of things they need to deal with. They still need to deal with Blue. They still need to deal with UC. And now, just one remaining. In a 1v3, still healthy with it as well. Kinnear committing to getting the spike down. Shies drops that. KRU take the lead right back.
Just like I said, I mean, having that Spectre on Simi Lu is so rough. I mean, you want to win that first gun round. It's super important, because now they're broke again, and they've let KRU take the lead. This is going to be a hit mentally for this team, because they were doing so well, and now it's just like, you've thrown the advantage.
Yeah, that one hurts. And man, were there opportunities. This shot from Clem was beautiful. Rami makes a massive play here, because again, Clem had slipped the net. She'd gotten out backside. She was tucked in the smoke. They had no idea where she was. She could have scored the round on her own.
I mean, she did such a good job at delaying, but EDG just couldn't close it out.
And so, as you were mentioning, EDG find themselves on scraps. They've got a Guardian in the hands of Wawa Lee, but it's just pistols other than that. KRU playing this one carefully, understanding there could be a trap, there could be a, a shorty, who knows what's waiting on the other side. So you play this one a little slowly. Try to see if you can feel out where the pressure might be. It's meticulous, it's calculated, it's careful.
Yep, there's not breaking out of this cat setup. Interestingly, they're not actually going and opting to find more information either. They're just sitting in their setups, understanding the retake B. I think it's good that they're playing heavy towards A, but the reaction here, possibly getting into that smoke and just flashing out of that door, is going to be super important, because this execute from KRU is going to be really, really strong.
Paranoia was a little early. Oh, but it is going to connect. It's going to delay. It's a Paranoia, and then the nade from KO, and now Blue's waiting on the other side. Oh, just narrowly missing a second. Yusin is still playing back here. I mean, they've done a considerable amount of damage. They still haven't really gotten out onto site. And you don't have a ton of time to flip here. You're going to push right into the teeth of the defenses, and those Sheriffs have been problematic. Blue left alone. Shies and Kalita both weak. Oh, I thought that was going to hit.
Spike planted.
Can Blue pull this off? This would be ridiculous. Remember how properly ridiculous of a start she had. The pistol, I think she was 6-0 at one point after round 2. Has upgraded to weapon 2. Now confirmation of that. Both members of KRU playing down in hell. So much to do for Blue, and really not a lot of time to do it. But she's got to go, and she's got to go really fast. Managing to slip past the first, going around Jenny. Shies and Kalita both playing this so patiently. Blue's running out of time. I don't think Blue's going to have enough time to do this at this point.
No,
with only 3 bullets left, yeah, able to get a kill, maybe gets a second, but it's not going to matter.
Wow. I mean, that delay was looking so good for EDG for so long. The Paranoia, the Molly, the flash out of the smoke, they delayed and delayed and delayed. But unfortunately, they just couldn't get onto site fast enough. They couldn't get those first entry kills fast enough. I mean, getting kills from door is great and all, but you need to secure the site. And obviously, Omen staying alive for so long. Man, these Sentinels are doing their jobs for EDG, just staying alive and delaying for so long, but it looks like the rotates and the flooding in just isn't as seamless as it should be.
Yeah, and you can't help but ask the question, like, you got bonus, so you only had pistols there. Imagine if you had a weapon. Who knows what could have happened? Michaela trying to provide some cover. The snap from Blue is clean. Very nicely done. Yusin has gotten up really far. Has a teleport, but decides to take a swing. Gets a kill anyway. What on earth is that? How How does she get away with that?
Oh my god, EDG just taking their fights, and that is something that they should have started doing earlier because that was so clean, but KRU is back to answer. Kunir getting the trade for Kalita. Oh my goodness. That was actually a crazy early round.
That was ridiculous. Kunir, a 1v3, the door closed. Whoa, aggressive. I mean, you're pushing into all three, and you're no way you get ones in a situation like that. Gambles up to see if she can catch him slipping and cannot. I still don't understand how Yusine gets the kills that she does in B-main. That's nuts.
Crazy. That was pretty wild. I mean, she had to either TP or swing out of that molly, and she just swung full confidence, gets the spray down on KJ. That was so clean. But as well, the pressure in mid from EDG with that flash over tiles, setting up Blue. Ooh, look at that. Those kills, so clean.
She had 85 HP when the Nano pushed her out of Cubby. She had no armor and 85 HP. Takes both of those fights and wins them in both. That's outrageous.
That's crazy. But both these teams, a lot of ults in their belt. I mean, we have KO ult, we have Hunter's Fury, we have Knives, and Omen TP on KRU's side. Looks like they're going to use it to their advantage with a full A execute.
Yusine is down here. And it's on Michaela to go find her. I mean, you've got to suspect that there's somebody playing down in hell, right? But there's just nothing to push. They're not going. They're really respecting this. They waited for the dart. She gets tagged. She still stays alive and still gets a kill. Yusine once again pulling off a miracle, finally falling to Kunir. That's crazy.
Yusine is just staying alive for so long for her team and surviving. Blue trying to hit the flank, but there's a turret right there. This is going to be such a good retake.
Kunir stuck the TP into their spawn and they don't know.
Oh.
This could be massive. Trying to smoke for herself, and now Clem realizing, hang on, something feels funny here. But is patient with it. You see it for EDG. The attention of the members that are alive are divided. They have to deal with what's happening in spawn. They have to deal with the fact that the spike is ticking. And time is of the essence. Just narrowly missing the timing window. Kunir's got to be snappy with it. It's going to be stuck as long as it could go, but it's not going to be enough.
My goodness, what an amazing post plan. I thought they were trying to delay for this Hunter's Fury, but they were delaying for Kunir's amazing TP play. That was such a good flank, and on such an important round too. Like, that was so sick. I mean, they invested so much. They have to win that round. They invested the KO out. They invested the Knives, and now we have Blue getting caught out by that. It was so weird. It was so crazy. Shy's just trying really hard to do her job, and she did. And again, man, that delay was so crazy on site from EDG, but it just wasn't enough. Again, like I said, these rotates and these floods just are not happening the way they should. But KRU genuinely outplayed EDG that round with that TP play.
Yeah,
that was really clean.
I mean, it was a gutsy call.
Yeah.
Very gutsy call. You mentioned it just a little bit ago, excuse me. That's a huge round late in this map. Given the fact that they were down to EDG, that takes a lot of confidence and that takes a lot of trust. And for Kunir to execute that beautifully, not rush it, really trust her teammates to buy some time for her to make a play, was just gorgeous. So EDG burn what very well could be their very last time out of this entire tournament. They're going blind the rest of the way, down 2 rounds, trying to find a way to win Ascent and to take us to the 3rd map.
Yeah, I mean, they really need to figure out a way to solidify these retakes because, my God, their Sentinels are doing so well at holding the sites and making sure they know when they're coming in, delaying, using paranoia, using mollies, playing in smokes. Like, EDG is doing so well up until a certain point in each of these rounds, and KRU's post plans have just been phenomenal.
You got to set up for Blue to take some space here, or Bucky, and you see the flash just in case anyone is there to challenge, but the hit's on the other side of the map. Well, they invested the lockdown really early, too.
Yep, this is going to give enough time for EDG to rotate, and now hopefully we're going to see this new adaptation to these retakes because they really need to clean this up. It is 5v5 though. This is going to be so hard. Bucky in hand though. We've seen EDG use these shotguns to their advantage.
Kalita has to be careful here. You've got the turret and the alarm bot, but you can tell the intent here is for you to play off of the Hunter's Fury because Clem has the lockdown and because of the post plan anyway. But you're right. There's a flank that's coming in from Yusine. Kalita has to be so careful. If she dies, the plan is spoiled. That additional layer is gone. She forces the fight. Khalida can't drop the Hunter's Fury to deny the lockdown. They have to wait it out. Oh my goodness, that's gutsy. That's bold. Where's the swing? Where's the challenge? Rami was there to help. Oh, that was beautiful. What can Wawa Lee do? 12 HP for Khalida. Rami's healthy. Wawa Lee is not. That Shock Dart could clean it up. But no, it takes a swing. She got it to half. Rami has to land the shot, and she does.
Oh my gosh, what a chaotic round that was, man. Like, through full committing, sticking to it on site. I mean, EDG, how do they not time that right with the KGL? I mean, that was crazy. They pushed in the tree. They knew they had to take that fight. They knew that their Sova wasn't available anymore in order to ult and kill that lockdown. But it was just so well played from KRU that I don't think EDG was ready at all.
No, I do think Rami was the MVP of that round. Rami was there to help the fight with Khalida, to give her a little bit more room, at least enough confidence to drop the ult. That was absolutely huge, and then obviously getting the last kill of the round certainly helps. Again, aggression out from EDG. They've already taken up Cat off of the paranoia. They're trying to set up Blue to find success. It's just not really netting anything.
Yeah, I mean, gambling wrong is always hard, but that pressure towards mid is great because KRU either has to fall back and re-clear this or hit towards A where there's 4 players ready. So seeing how this is going to play out, I mean, they're kind of creeping back towards that mid, knowing that they have to re-clear this. But Jet has already rotated off and already set up in a different spot.
Remember here, you've seen use the paranoia at the beginning of the round to try to set up a trap. So that's really not available if they want to try to delay once they get a really good idea of where KRU's headed. Oh, that knife is huge. That hit 4. The only person that wasn't tagged was Rami.
Yeah, with a knife like that, you're definitely going to have to call it cancel because your whole execute is just up in bits. Grabbing the orb and falling off, that's like the only thing that you can do. But they are looking to retake that mid space, kind of ballsy because they didn't know that Jet was not there anymore.
Michaela has to find some value here. You've seen playing on the other side of the smoke, and you've got Blue waiting. Did she not get spotted? How is she alive? What is this? Whoa! How? How did she get 2?
Enemy remaining.
What is going on?
How does she stay alive that long without taking any damage and still get 2?
Dude, Yusin is so good at avoiding everything and just staying alive. Like, that is crazy, EDG. What is going on? KRU, you need to have way more confidence in getting those picks and picking those swings, man. That was... Dude, Yusin is actually incredible at dodging, at staying alive, hiding in smokes, avoiding util. Even when hit by util, playing in those angles that you can't really spam through, and you have to wide swing into her crosshair.
Actual anime plot armor. That's the craziest thing. Yusin has had so many ridiculous rounds this series. And you see it as a Prime Gaming Flawless out, and you just kind of left scratching your head like, how? What?
Yeah, that was wild. A really good setup, though, from the defense side. I mean, that knife completely canceling that execute was where it all started. That was perfect.
And honestly, I'm surprised that they re-hit because they drew out the null command.
Yeah.
Out from the KO, so I thought, okay, you got the knife, yeah, you got spotted, but you drew out the null command.
Yeah.
Flip the map or reset, but they just pushed back in, and unfortunately, they guessed wrong ultimately in trying to go back into A.
Yeah, and the worst part was they re-hit after not even trying to apply any more pressure towards mid. Like, they ended up just like walking back into mid, but if you were planning on re-hitting, you need to put pressure towards mid, put pressure towards that B main, knowing that the other team took so much space on you already. You can't just let them have it and be like, well, we're just going to tell you guys that we're going A. So.
Right. Final timeout of the map has been called. It's just going to be action the rest of the way. KRU hanging on to a 2-round lead, trying to put EDG away, trying to stay alive in this tournament. They've gotten this close. Can they finish the job? Meanwhile, for EDG, as would be obvious, they're fighting for tournament life. Have not won a map in the tournament yet. And on the precipice of extending the series if they can pull this off. And that's an excellent start. It's bold, it's confident. She's going to find all 3. What a round out from Blue. Everything's been thrown into disarray, but Khalid and Kinnear somehow still have a decently winnable situation. Kinnear invests the ult, tries to get out onto B. And Khalid has been spotted. That was the one. Wait, what?
Okay. a little bit of miscons. I mean, this flood almost doing work, but again, everyone's just taking ones on the EDG side. Doesn't matter. Clem finally getting the kill onto Kalita, and now they're just waiting for the spike to be planted.
This was a 2v4, but they've kept it competitive, and Knir has plenty of time. The one problem is that they know where she is. There is no element of surprise. Here, there's no ult to flip the map. There's nothing like that. It was already invested. A fake TP.
30 seconds.
Just to cause some problems. The first spot, and now position given away. Swings out boldly with Paranoia in hand. Looking for the fights and gets them, and it was not the fight that you wanted. EDG bridged the gap down to 1.
My God, what a messy round. EDG is making me so scared. I'm literally getting anxiety watching this because that was so solid from Blue. Look at the work that she put in. Amazing blind, amazing util, amazing dart, just spamming and taking advantage of that, but then ending up here forgetting about the player in B main and then ending up taking the ones on site. That's so scary, but it doesn't matter because at the end of the day, that early aggression got them this round super fast.
It's been so messy and it's been so scrappy, and that does not seem to change this round. Look at how fast they've already scaled up. The problem is EDG have 3 members that are still playing proper on site. So yeah, you have some space outside of B main, outside of site proper, but you haven't cleared that out. And you don't really have the weaponry to fight with. You have 2 Spectres.
Oh, no.
Is that going to be enough? They've already gotten 1 kill. She didn't see the second. Wawali was still up. And they're all going to crumble. They invested the null command. Rami left in a 1v3.
Enemy remaining.
And it's just not going to pan out. We're tied at 11.
My goodness. Okay, we were talking about how good EDG is at holding sites. They were like, yeah, let's play to our strengths. Let's just hold the site with 3 this time. And I think that was really well played. I mean, KRU tried to do a play where they pushed into market. They even sent the Omen blind, but it did not work because no one was playing. Instead, they had this setup on site. It looked a little scary for a second with 2 players sitting behind that default box, but it doesn't matter because Wawa Lee had the crossfire from that danger spot, doing such a good job.
And the crazy thing is, Michaela didn't spot her.
Yeah.
She got out on the site and she turned, she checked it. It was just too fast, or it wasn't wide enough, and that was the difference maker. Again, an instance where these tiny micro instances decide the round.
Yep. Exactly. Now we have Hunter's Fury still on the EDG side with the Omen TP. Not a single ult for KRU, looking like they're going to set up for a mid default, slowing down the round, trying to do what they did earlier. The drone not spotting?
No, it didn't spot either. It was a little high. She's still getting the tag. Rami dancing for dear life. They've gotten so far up. Yeah, just 5 HP left on the other side of that.
Not ready yet.
They have no idea how many members of KRU are mid right now. They just know that the drone got cleared. They don't know how many guns were waiting on the other side. Now both have fired. The alarm bot, the swing, that is, I mean, that's almost flawless.
Yeah, KRU needed to clear out that KJ utility, so they had that mid space to do stuff, but instead it caught Jet off guard. They're ending up to split towards Cat. I mean, this is such a good call.
left.
Shies with the kill on Shimilu. That was crazy.
They're scaling into spawn. You've seen it ulted off of site to be the first real critique we can give on the player who's had such an outrageous map. And in the potential waning hours, that's when things potentially go sideways. The spike is planted. Clement, you've seen left into 2v4. We saw KRU make a really good run at a situation just like this a few moments ago. But Clem's gonna have to do it all on her own. Yeah, you have a member who's weak, but this feels borderline impossible. The benefit is they have some money. Clem can go for it, maybe take a gamble and see if you can win something out. But it's just not going to be the case. KRU gets a series point and EDG pushed out onto the ropes.
Man, that was so rough. Like, EDG getting that first blood, like, they know that they have the numbers advantage, but they're still not ready for the way that KRU is reacting. Again, KRU so fast with the way that they react and pushing together, taking that Cat and splitting. I mean, that was so good, but look at this. Everyone is just taking ones. Blue is completely unaware, and Houston just trying her hardest to do something, but nothing can be done when everyone on your site is already dead, and let the whole team take the space.
Here the blades used at the beginning of the round. Michaela and a couple of other members of the attacking side have been tagged. Blue's taken some of this space already in B main, which is nice. And then you can fall back. You still have the Killjoy set up to provide some cover and add an additional line of defense in case you have to give that space back up.
Yeah, both teams playing it slow, pushing up to kill that Killjoy turret, but it is only gonna not pop the reaction. KRU actually playing super slow still. They put pressure towards that main, but EDG is pushed up all the way through B. Romy, is she aware of the knives?
The gun barrel. She's been spotted. She's dead. And they're going to be rotating into her. A cloudburst is going to be enough to pave the way to safety. But now, I mean, KRU are left in fits. You don't feel safe going B. The one benefit is you have Kalita, who has not moved A. But you imagine EDG are going to be wise to this. They have so much. They have so much passive info off of this Killjoy setup.
Yeah, I mean, Sova starting to rotate towards that A side. Definitely a call that they need, but hopefully not slow, not too slow.
Nano start to come through. The paranoia is going to buy some space, but they have to push out into it anyway with 20 seconds left out on the round. Time is of the essence. The spam out from the Odin not connecting, but they're warning shots and they hurt. The flash forward, are they going to fight into tree? No, you seen on the swing, decapitated by Michaela, but EDG holds the line. Kinnear left alone in a 1v4, and we're not done yet.
My goodness, EDG, that was so, I mean, Romy just so unaware that the Jet could have pushed up all the way. That was crazy. That was so, oh my God, it's like watching the nerves starting to push into both of these teams, trying desperately to just win out this map. EDG coming back, making it a 12-12. That's what you want to see. I mean, it feels like the confidence has been great. KRU trying to push into that tree because they know they need numbers. They just chose the wrong side because this team was finally ready for this aggression, and EDG just completely shut it down.
Clem was cold with it. What an outrageous map. And again, it's only fair that we get a couple of extra rounds to see this continue to play out. Tied at 12, overtime to decide who wins Ascent. Does EDG survive, or does KRU advance? EDG on the attacking side, you see there's perhaps some expectation of pressure from A. They've got the turret, and they have Yusine waiting for some of that pressure to be applied, but it does not come to fruition.
Yeah, EDG opting for a contact play. They know KRU has super fast reactions to any set of util, and now walking all the way up Cat. But the flash is there ready. Shies, you should have peeked with that because that was beautiful. But it doesn't matter. EDG's opting to go through grass towards that heaven spot.
Michaela feeling some of the pressure as EDG has taken heaven, as you were just mentioning. But there's a lot of fight on the other side. KRU strikes at the perfect time. Clem left in a 1v4, a disaster of a situation. And there's so many things that Clem has to consider here.
Like a knife.
Like a knife, like the 4 remaining members of KRU, like the fact that the spike is not in hand, like the fact that your tournament life is currently being threatened.
30 seconds left.
Like the fact that the crowd is fully behind KRU. It just continues to pile up. And that might be it. That might be enough to tip the scales. KRU with the lead once again, series point.
For a second, EDG looked like they finally cracked the code on how to win this attack side, contacting up. And I was just talking about how fast KRU's reactions are. The delay with the KO flash was so good, and it just let the whole team kind of flood in and be able to be ready for whatever EDG was going to do. They took heaven. I mean, just not quick enough, not fast enough. They didn't have anyone holding behind them, holding their flank. It was so messy, but it's such a good idea at the beginning of the round.
Oh, KRU gonna have to do it on the attacking side in this Killjoy utility. But the knife is gorgeous, the knife tech Clem. They can get past everything that's been set up. And look at how far up Michaela has gone. There's no way you expect this here. Can she find another? Wisely takes a step back. Killjoy down. Just 3 members left from EDG. As KRU want to put this map away, want to put this series away. The finishing touches of aggression seem to be exactly what they need, unless Yusine can play spoiler once more. Keeping things competitive, trying to equalize things a little bit further as EDG now have to push forward. They have to venture out into the space that's been established by KRU, where the line has been set, the smoke is checked, Wawa Lee left alone, and it will not be enough. KRU take down EDG, KRU survive.
What a map. That was so close, back and forth. EDG putting such a good fight up towards KRU, but at the end of the day, KRU showing absolute dominance in that overtime, showing that they can be quick, they can play together, they can be mechanically amazing, and both these teams showing that as a team, they are so strong. But like we said, the small little mistakes, the small little issues, making each round go towards that KRU.
I mean, we got to talk about the poise that KRU has shown. I think when you have a team like EDG who's playing aggressively, who's starting to show some depth to playbook, and who mounts a pretty ridiculous comeback right after it felt like they had lost control of the situation in the second half. A lot of teams can fold in that situation, and they aren't able to close it out, and then they go into map 3. But KRU has shown, yeah, they showed a lot of grit, they showed a lot of poise, and EDG, I mean, they put up one hell of a fight.
For sure. I mean, on both these maps, Doug, they managed to bring back so many rounds that we thought weren't winnable. I mean, that 2v4 on Split just showed how much potential that this team has, and they stuck it out. No nerves, managed to do what they couldn't do. They were so good. They pushed out, they played amazing, and I think that just shows how close this competition is. But again, like you said, KRU just coming out on top, showing that poise, showing that teamwork. A seasoned veteran team now just showing what they have.
Yeah, you learn a lot about yourself and you grow a lot as a team when you go through a series like that, facing elimination, and it's all smiles, of course, because you walked away on top. Plenty of love from the home crowd towards KRU Blaze. That was an outrageous performance. I mean, the step up from Michaela was ridiculous. I think Khalida had some outrageous moments as well. That felt like a complete effort.
Yeah, I mean, every single member on this team performing so well. Konir, one of the really great players, but again, all rounded on both sides.
Unfortunately, we have to say goodbye, bid adieu to EDG, and we're gonna let the desk do all of that for us. Take it away.
Thank you very much, Doug and Athena. Yes, unfortunately, we got to say goodbye to EDG. I have Murs and Kakuka with me here. What a map that was. I think that might have been my favorite map of the whole tournament.
Man, we were so close to going to that third map. I am happy, really, for KRU to get the victory. Actually, their first international victory. We were talking about how last year things did not work out for them. But we were starting to get so close to see what EDG was capable of. And don't get me wrong, there were so many things about this map that should probably have gone a different way. We had a lot of multi-kills, a lot of 4Ks, insane plays, but I think that it was, you know, the one team reading onto the other one and actually performing really well.
Yeah, I was cheering for KRU, but I really feel sad, like the way it ended for EDG. Like they were starting to heat up. You could see they were playing better individually. You could see some individual plays from Wally, from Similu, everyone. So they were popping off actually. I was really impressed by their gameplay and how they started really with the aggression. What they didn't do in Split, I really liked it. Yeah.
Hey, hopefully they're going to be back next year. But as Kakuka said, KRU, they've never got an international win before, so that's a nice time for them as well.
Yeah, I'm really happy for KRU as well because, as I said before, they play for already 2 years in their region. They win versus everyone, and like they have to do it internationally.
Yeah, and I can't wait to see what else they can do. But for now, let's send it down to the stage. Tixinia is standing by with Shies for the Verizon post-match interview.
Salve, salve, galera! Estou aqui no palco com a Shies. Palmas, barulhos aí para Shies. Vamos trocar uma ideia, lembrando sempre em português e inglês. Hello, everyone. I'm here with Shies. We're going to talk a little bit more about that victory, important victory for KRU. So, Shies, first of all, congrats. Amazing, important victory again. I saw a little bit different KRU today. I saw that you managed to fix a little bit of the problems that you had yesterday. What was these problems and what did you fix for today's game? Shai, primeiramente, parabéns pela vitória. Eu vi uma KRU um pouco diferente hoje, eu vi que vocês consertaram algumas coisas. O que foi conversado? O que vocês fizeram para arrumar do jogo de ontem para o jogo de hoje?
Bom, eu diria que... Obrigada primeiro, né? Mas eu diria que a gente arrumou o nosso nervosismo. Porque a gente estava muito nervosa, era meu primeiro mundial da Mica. Então, a gente sentou ontem, conversou como um time, todo mundo se apoiou, todo mundo olhou uma para outra e falou pro que a gente está aqui, né? E a gente conversou bastante com o nosso psicólogo também, então eu quero agradecer o Tom, que ajudou muita gente com o nervosismo de estreia. Acho que foi mais o nervosismo mesmo que a gente mudou para hoje.
So she said that they were a little bit nervous yesterday because it's her first championship for Micaela. So they said yesterday, they talked a little bit more about what they were doing today, and they talked with the psychologist. That was really important, and this was like the main thing that made they win today. My second question for you, it's Ascent was a nightmare for you. It was really hard for you. What was the problems? What happened? Why you struggle a little bit to close the game? Shai, o segundo mapa Ascent foi um pesadelo, a EDG tava fazendo de tudo, tava difícil. Onde que foi os problemas? Por que vocês demoraram para fechar esse jogo?
Acho que as meninas, né, a EDG, vieram com um mental totalmente diferente pro segundo jogo. Então acho que foi mérito delas também, além de tudo. Então acho que foi isso.
I think that EDG was playing so well. They changed the mental from the last game. So I think that EDG were playing so well that made the game hard for us. And my third and last question for you. Next game is going to be against one of the sensations of the tournament, SMG. What do you expect for this match? Shai, próximo jogo, uma das sensações desse campeonato, a SMG, que vem jogando demais. Qual a expectativa para enfrentar esse time?
Elas com certeza estão vindo forte, mas a gente também está vindo forte. A gente vai mudar o nosso mental. Já mudamos nosso mental, então vamos fazer um bom jogo.
I think they are a really strong team, but we change our mental and we're going to do a really good game against them tomorrow. Thank you so much. Obrigado, Shai. Parabéns.
Red Bull gives you wings.